As Dylan said, ship strike's been of particular interest to me because I've travelled this area. I'm going to show you the area in a minute. The obvious clues we're looking for, everybody knows about the blows, and this is in fact a picture of Indicus, the blue whale of the North Indian Ocean. Okay, so a particular interest of mine is ship strike. There's another one. This is actually in the danger area of southern Sri Lanka. This fantastic animal. Gotcha. Okay. Mapping, really important. I wanted to use this as a tool. Okay, so down the bottom here, we have extension of the larger box. And this represents an area of southern Sri Lanka called Dondra Head, very close to Narissa, and also very, very close to a new port, which is called Hambantota, which is very important to the government and to the economy of Sri Lanka. Now, the problem is this. This gives you the topography, and you can quite clearly see that the TSSs, for those of you who don't understand what that means, that's a traffic separation scheme. In other words, it's a motorway of the sea, okay, which are by the shaded areas in between. You get westbound traffic, eastbound traffic being these ships being separated. But when they placed this TSS in position, they stuck it right in one of the main feeding grounds of the Indian Ocean blue whale, Indicus. And consequently, ship strike is a really big problem. It's very difficult to quantify, as Michael will tell you, very, very difficult to quantify exactly how many traumas, severe strikes and deaths actually take place, because these animals sink to the bottom and very few are actually washed ashore. But it is a considerable number. It's worth really working on this one. And so the continental shelf slope, the upwelling area, right on top of that is this TSS, the motorway of the sea. And there's an obvious answer to it. It's got to be moved. That is the only real answer to this problem. But at the moment, the authorities in Sri Lanka have said, no, we're not going to do that. Okay, so what I want to try to do is to mitigate, as much as I possibly can, any further deaths. There's a lot of papers, science has gone into this, and piggybacking on the back of, for instance, Charles Anderson, a very well-renowned guy. He's doing quite a lot of study of the Indian Ocean migrations that take place as far as the blue whale is concerned. So using these various scientific tools, of course, this is what we see. This is a relatively recent one. The animal's caudal area severely damaged. This animal is dead. It's a blue whale. So going literally around the world now, as it needs to do. This is New York Times. The problems thus far, it's very frustrating. None of these things are easy. Who said they had to be? Lack of data, emerging whale and dolphin watching industry so far unregulated, the new port of Hambantota, huge investment, refusal by shipping authorities to relocate the TSSs, and where would you relocate it to anyway? Okay, communication with Sri Lankan authorities is the most dire problem I have. They just don't reply. They all have emails, but they don't seem to know how to use them. So that's a real problem. Or is it me working as an individual that's a problem? So they say, who's this guy? We don't care. So that's when I really wanted the corporate image of WCA to come into play, to use WCA as a tool. Just mentioning that, it's already helped me greatly, because through WCA, through Dylan's introduction, meeting Michael, and we've already had considerable conversations on this problem. And it is an ongoing problem, but I'm very heartened by the discussion that I had with Michael. Is it possible to mitigate the risk? Yes, I believe it is. In other words, just simply slow these ships down, slow them down, and at the very least we can partially mitigate. If we can save one more blue whale death, then I think it's worth it. We need to do this. Vessel collisions, this is science telling us that if you actually consider all things, we're not going to go through the whole thing, but the summary is down here. It's very, very clear indeed that there is a substantial decrease in the probability of vessel strike if we can reduce the velocity of these ships down to around about the 10 knots bit. There's more work to take place. We've got to evaluate what costs there might be to the shipping industry, so that's ongoing. Around the world it goes, ships asked to slow down, sent to me by Ingrid here. This is New Zealand. So this is a problem that's everyone is aware of, but sometimes it's very, very difficult to actually get this reduction in velocity to take place. Okay, by slowing down and extra vigilance on board a ship. This particular one, I was travelling across the Bay of Biscay. This is a fin whale, and by extra diligence, by extra watchkeeping, we saved this animal. So it is possible. If we hadn't done this, that would have been another death. Ship strike in Sri Lanka, we need to address it. Thank you very much.